Okay, so yesterday we have started, in last lecture we have started the chapter number 4. Okay, so basically we have started the second section, first chapter, that is the fundamentals of the numerical system. Okay, so yesterday we have seen what is meaning of the numerical control system, and basically in that we have seen the all the history part of the numerical control system, how that numerical control system is developed, established from the first state to current state. So these are the syllabus we have discussed: evaluation of the numerical control machine, then retrofitting, then elements of the NC manufacturing system, then concept of the work zero and machine zero. Okay, then we have seen the different types of the NC systems, structures, different drives and devices, uh, steps in NC system. That point today we will cover. Okay, so we have seen the some introduction part of the numerical control system in last lecture. Then this is the history part of the NC manufacturing machine, how that Massachusetts Institute of Technology developed this first numerical control machine in 1949. And from there they have started the inventing the some modification of that machines, and later on we will get the first ENC machine by the MIT Institute. Okay, then we have discussed the first initial stages of the elements of the NC machines. So these are the some images here. You can just understood how the elements works for the NC machine tools. Then these are the some important elements of the NC manufacturing system: part program, machine control unit, and processing unit. So each part, each element having some specific workload, work distribution. So already we have discussed regarding the programming is very important for any automation. Then machine control unit, they're doing their work in the sense of the data processing and loop control. And last but not least, that is a manufacturing. Then we have seen how to write the program. Okay, the method is there. So what is that? N letter, then G, then XY coordinate. Okay, then program input devices, which input devices we are using for the program, NC program. So that also we have discussed. Punch tape is one of the best example, and which is having size of the 1-inch card. Okay, then these are the example of the one of the punch tape. You can see how the punch tape is actually looking. Then these are the one of the punch tape reader, how to we are reading that punch tape, and we are converting the into signal and passing to that signal to machines. Then MCU, one of the major unit in the, that is we can call it, this is the heart of the NC system. This is the processing unit. Okay, and we have seen the work zero and machine zero point. So before moving a next point, I want to just see one of the video of the video of our ENC system. So give me 1 minute, I will show you. First of all, we will understand and then we will move forward.
Download Grammarly today for better, smarter, faster writing at work.
My screen is visible. Screen is visible. Anyone please reply. My screen is visible and it's audible.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
It is audible also. Okay, so now you can see this is one of the fully automation line in the food industry. So we'll see first this video and then we'll continue next. You can see this is the one of the food industry. How they are just doing the automation for the food industry by using fully automation machineries. can see the how that all the fruits is carrying on the conveyor animation. AGV, automated guided vehicles like that. Conveyor is there, how they are moving is there. Okay. So they are using full automation system for their food industries. There are 9 production lines under only one roof. So how they are integrated that all the 9, you can see how the actual finishing products are coming out. Where all the packaging and all their labeling also. Yes. These are the robots picking and placing, loading and unloading all the products packaging through this conveyor and storing, transferring from one line to another transmission line and storing in the storage. With the help of the another conveyor which is lifting that products.
So
So we'll see one more example in the car manufacturing. We will see one mega factories from the Rolls-Royce example. Now you can see this is one of the car manufacturing industry. Okay, Rolls-Royce. So you can just see, you must see this video how they are manufacturing. Okay, so fully automation. This is one of the greatest or big company you can say. This is one of the precious car. After giving the customer order, they only they are manufacturing the car. Okay, so you can
Time to
just
scout.
what we can just see the importance of this car manufacturing companies. So these are the example of the automation. So I want to just give you one of the examples for how they are just going to manufacturing with the help of the industries. So now I will give you one of the example, numerical control machines. You can just take one of the example we will take. This is the one of the example where the CNC machine is working on that raw material, and they are just using the different techniques. This is a CNC machine or numerical control machine, computer numerical control machine. So now you can just see how that numerical control machine is working. You can see here tool changing. They are using the different tool after one by one use. Okay, that is an automatic tool changer. ATC is there. So tool directed tool indexes, they are storing the different tools. And at the same time they are changing the tool also. And whatever that white liquid is there, that is a coolant. For smooth operation purpose, they are providing the coolant. And very important thing, once you complete our syllabus for our subject, there is a term work and as well as external oral examination is there. So I will give some hints, or I will give some tips to how to face our external oral examination. Okay, I will give some ideas and some sample question also, where external will be asked for you at the time of the external examination. So don't worry for that. This is checking the accuracy.
We have this entire misunderstanding of what Darwin really meant when he said survival of the fittest.
Now you can just observe how that fluid movement only that work is. So that is the advantages and power of the CNC machine, VNC machine, or any of the VNC machines. So once you provide the programming part to that machines, so that machine will be conduct all the activities through this programming. Okay, so you can just observe, you can see the importance of the part programming. Once you feel complete the programming for that particular production, so that production interface that you are programming, okay, it will be automation machines.
Hello.
Okay, so already you have seen the example of the numerical control machine. Okay, so we'll further proceed for the remaining part.
I'm the faculty director for the Center for Analytics and Transformative Technologies at UT, and I'm also the faculty director for this PGP.
Okay, so now we have completed the scene, how the actually NC machines work. Why? Because I am showing that video because before starting, before going to in deep that in a numerical control machine, you should know how the actual numerical control machine is work. Okay, so after our practical number, last fifth number, that is a part programming on the CNC machines. Once we completed that, so you come to know how actually CNC machine is working. So in our workshop also we will visit at once at the last practical time and last chapter time, and I will show you how to write the program and actually how to work on that in the CNC machine. That time also I will show you live demo. Okay, so don't worry. So this is the work 0 and machine 0 points. Already we have seen yesterday. So actually work 0 means the tool is ready to work on that work piece. So that point is called as work 0, and machine 0 means whatever the axis of the tool is just set away from the work piece. Okay, that point is called as a machine 0. Then classification already we have completed the last lecture. This is also first rate counting, increment absolute point. So next point is open loop system. So what is mean by open loop system? So now you can see the diagram here. Tape reader is there. Okay, before that part program, whatever that tape, punch tape, and then punch tape reader, and the signal passing through that tape reader is going to directly MCU, and they are just passing through that actual manufacturing unit. There is a processing unit that is called as machining. So stepper motor connected with this all the machines, and that will machine will work. But in this system, if any going to wrong in this system, so they are not supplying any feedback to the machine. So this is only open loop, not here to close loop. Okay, so we will see one by one. Here you can see this is open loop system where we are going to give the instruction from the controller, and just we are passing instruction, not collecting any other feedback from that separate stations. That is a one major issue in open loop system. So actually open loop control system using step motors, and step motors are driven by electric pulses. Okay, so open loop system मध्ये step motors use करतात, आणि याच्यामध्ये step motors काय करतात, कशामुळे ड्रिव्हन करतात, इलेक्ट्रिक पल्सेस मुळे ते फिरतात. कुठून? तुम्ही दिलेल्या सिग्नल मधून. एव्हरी पल्स रोटेट्स द मोटर स्पिंडल थ्रू अ सर्टन अमाउंट. जेवढे तुमचे पल्सेस त्याला सप्लाय करायचे असतील तेवढ्या ह्याच्या अमाउंट मध्ये तुमचा तो मोटरचा स्पिंडल फिरत राहणार. बाय काउंटिंग द पल्सेस द अमाउंट ऑफ द मोशन कॅन बी कंट्रोल्ड. ठीक आहे, त्या पल्सेस न तुम्ही तुमची मोशन सुद्धा कंट्रोल करू शकता तुमच्या मशीनची. नो फीडबॅक सिग्नल फॉर एरर करेक्शन. जसं मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं की याच्यामध्ये जर काही चुकलं एक्स ऍक्सिस, वाय ऍक्सिस, झेड ऍक्सिस मध्ये, तर त्याचा सिग्नल परत रिटर्न करण्यासाठी तिथं आपण काही फीडबॅक सिस्टम याच्यामध्ये यूज करत नाही ओपन लूप मध्ये. अँड दॅट लीड्स टू लोअर पोझिशनिंग अॅक्युरेसी. मग ह्या सिस्टीम मधून आपल्याला अॅक्युरेसी खूप कमी मिळते. ठीक आहे. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the open loops control system? So advantages, these are very less costly. बरोबर आहे. याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला ही सिस्टीम खूप कमी खर्चामध्ये मिळते. These are less complex. याच्यामध्ये सिस्टीम मध्ये काही कॉम्प्लेक्स नाही, ते सरळ साधी सोपी सिस्टीम आहे. These are easier to maintain and are popular with smaller NC machines. हे मेंटेन करायला खूप सोपं जातं आणि हे खूप पॉप्युलर आहे. कशासाठी? ज्यांचं स्मॉल स्केल मध्ये एनसी मशीनचं शॉप आहे. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे थोडक्यात की छोट्या मशिनरीज आहेत आणि कमी मशिनरीज आहेत, अशा स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये हे खूप पॉप्युलर आहे. ह्याची मेजर डिसएडव्हान्टेजेस काय आहेत? देर इज नो वे टू करेक्ट एनी एरर दॅट माइट ऑकर ड्युरिंग ऑपरेशन्स because there is no feedback to the controller. कंट्रोलरला सपोज तुमच्या सिस्टीम मध्ये काहीतरी फीडबॅक मध्ये ऑपरेशन मध्ये काहीतरी एक एरर आली, तर तो एरर तुम्हाला कधी कळणार? जर तो फीडबॅक तुम्हाला मशीनला कंट्रोलर दिला तर. पण अशी ह्याच्यामध्ये सिस्टीमच नाहीये. सगळ्यात मोठा ड्रॉबॅक असा आहे की एखादी काही मिस्टेक एरर झाली तरी ते तुम्हाला आयडेंटिफाय करता येत नाहीये. टिपिकली अ लोअर टॉर्क मोटर युज्ड. याचा डिसएडव्हान्टेजेस काय आहे की लोअर टॉर्क असणारी मोटर ही यूज करावी लागते. ठीक आहे, ह्या सिस्टीमचे हे तोटे आहेत आणि ह्याचे हे फायदे आहेत. कशाचे? ओपन लूप कंट्रोल सिस्टीम. Next is closed loop control system. Now you can see the diagram of this system. There is a tape reader as an input for the work system. Then comparator, one of the unit is fitted in this system. Then amplifier and signal processing unit. Then stepper motor. But before that open loop, you can see directly tape reader and directly MCU and directly processing unit. But in this comparator and amplifier signal processing unit is there fitted for giving the feedback which is occurred in your during operation in the system. That message, that feedback is again going to send to your controller. So that is the main role of this system, closed loop system. And that signal converting, that is another role of this signal processing unit to your machining, that is a stepper motor. And that once the stepper motor got the signal from the signal processing unit, that signal is passing through your actual machining process, that is a processing equipment stage, last manufacturing. Gearbox will be run as per the given pulses and machine tool movement will be worked and your final manufacturing will be done. But in this, supposing these 2-3 systems will got some error, that system will be send the message, one feedback message to our original tape reader input system, and that will be corrected, that system, and we will get the again correction, and then again that system will be run. So this is the diagram of the closed loop system. Now you can see the another diagram for the CNC controller in between the closed loop system. You can see blue line means whatever input given from the your tape reader, that signal is transmitted to your actual machine procedure. If something is might be happening, got any error in the different axis, so that will be passing through the directly controller with the red line. ते लगेच तुम्हाला सांगेल की इथे तर चुकलं आहे, तुम्ही ते दुरुस्त करा. कंट्रोलर मध्ये मेसेज आला की आपण लगेच प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये चेंज करून तो करेक्ट करू शकतो. दिस इज ऍक्च्युअली वन मोर बेनिफिट इन टर्म्स ऑफ द क्लोज लूप सिस्टीम. क्लोज लूप सिस्टीम म्हणजे काय आहे? पोझिशन ट्रान्सड्यूसर आर यूज टू जनरेट. ठीक आहे, याच्यामध्ये ट्रान्सड्यूसर यूज केले जातात जनरेट करण्यासाठी. काय जनरेट करण्यासाठी? फीडबॅक सिग्नल. ठीक आहे, ट्रान्सड्यूसर वी आर युजिंग फॉर द जनरेटिंग द फीडबॅक सिग्नल्स फॉर एनी करेक्शन, एरर करेक्शन्स. जर कुठला एरर असेल तर ते कसं कळणार? तर त्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला पोझिशन ट्रान्सड्यूसर यूज करावे लागतील फीडबॅक जनरेट करण्यासाठी. ते तुम्हाला ह्याच्यामध्ये लागतील क्लोज लूप सिस्टम मध्ये. बेटर अॅक्युरेसी कॅन बी अचिव्ड ॲज कम्पेअर टू ओपन लूप. इन दिस क्लोज लूप वी विल गेट अ बेटर अॅक्युरेसी अँड इट इज मोर एक्सपेन्सिव्ह कम्पेअर्ड टू द ओपन लूप. म्हणजे ओपन लूप पेक्षा हे जास्त महाग आहे, बिकॉज इन दिस वी आर युजिंग सम फीडबॅक सिग्नल सेन्सर्स, position transducer, okay, and suitable for large size machine tools, and this is a suitable for the large industries where we are using a large number of the ENC machines. That time we can use this system. Okay, the next advantages and disadvantages of closed loop system. So advantages is higher accuracy is achieved because of the all these error feedback sensors. There is an automatic compensation for error. जर चूक झाली तर त्याच्यामध्ये फीडबॅक सिग्नल करेक्शन होतं आणि ऑटोमॅटिक ते कंपेन्सेशन केलं जातं. इट इज मोर प्रिफर्ड इन लार्ज एनसी मशीन्स बिकॉज ऑफ द हायर लोड. याला सगळ्यात जास्त मागणी कुठं आहे? जिथं तुमची मोठी लार्ज स्केल इंडस्ट्री आहे एनसीची, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला हे यूज करता येतं. What are the disadvantages in this separate closed loop system? These systems are more complex. जेवढं तुम्ही जास्त तुम्हाला बेनिफिट भेटतं तेवढी ही सिस्टीम कॉम्प्लेक्स पण खूप आहे समजण्यासाठी. मोर एक्सपेन्सिव्ह टू बाय अँड मेंटेन. सो इट इज वन ऑफ द एक्सपेन्सिव्ह युनिट. सो इट इज एक्सपेन्स टू बाय अँड ऑल्सो मेंटेन दॅट मशीन. दॅट इज ऑल्सो सेकंड डिसएडवांटेजेस. ओके, सो now you can see we have seen the two type open loop and closed loop system. Okay, so I will just show you one of the example.
In this lecture, we will discuss the open loop systems. In the previous lecture, we discussed the system response characteristics, and in that lecture, at
Okay, now
the
you can
end,
see
we
the
had
open loop
discussion on the
systems,
system
how that open
configurations.
loop systems
We have
works.
two types of system configurations. One is the open loop and the of systems. One is the control system and loop systems generate the output. But internally, the control section that controls the amount of input that is required to process the input, and the other is the process section that actually processes the input in order to generate the output. On the left hand side, we have the input to the system, and from now onwards we will call this as the reference input, and on this side we have the output. So now we can say that any control system will take an input, and inside the control system, the controller will control the amount of input that is required for the process, and the controlled input will move on to the process section, and it will be processed in the process section in order to generate the output. In this way, we are done with the block diagram of open loop system. Now let's move on to some of the important points of open loop system. An open loop control system is a system in which the control action is totally independent of the output of the system. This point simply says that the input to the system is totally independent of the output. It means that we don't have a feedback signal that tells us how to vary the input, when to increase or decrease the input signal in order to get the desired output. In that case, the accuracy of the system depends on the experience of the user. To understand this, one classical example is immersion water heater. That immersion rod that we put inside the water to heat it? Yes, that one. It goes on heating the water, but it doesn't have a feedback mechanism to tell you how hot the water is and when to stop heating the water. That's why it is a perfect example of an open loop system. One more classic example is of a toaster. The toaster goes on increasing the temperature of the bread, but it doesn't know when to stop heating. And that's why sometimes we get to know that the toast has burnt. So now we are done with the introduction of open loop system. Now let's move on to the advantages of using open loop system. The first advantage of any open loop system is it is simple in construction and design because it does not have a complex mechanism. Also, it is economic because it does not have many elements present in it and the circuitry is simple. Also, it is convenient to use when the output is difficult to measure. So we have some advantages of using open loop systems, but on the other hand, we also have some disadvantages. And the major disadvantage of using any open loop system is it is poorly equipped to handle disturbance. And as it can't handle disturbance, it is not reliable. So in order to remove the disadvantages of open loop system, we will add one feedback factor from the output side to the input side, and in this way we will move on to the closed loop systems. We will discuss the closed loop systems in the next lecture. As of now, we are done with this
Okay, so
lecture.
these are the open loop system.
Thank you
So
for
we'll
watching
see
this lecture.
closed loop system.
For more than a century, the products we design have been constrained by the
See
capabilities of
more
processing.
example, we will understand and will what is the closed
Of
loop
control
system, what is the open loop
discussion.
system.
And let's see how we have already discussed in the previous
Okay, so now you will understood in more simple way. So what is actually open loop system and closed loop systems? Okay, so this is the difference between this open loop system and closed loop system. So we will. So now you have some good idea about the what is meaning of the open loop system and closed loop system. Okay, so in next lecture we will see the remaining part of the chapter. So for today's lecture we will stop.